We'll move on to accent or ghost.
Accent or ghost.
Or ghost. All right, if you're not familiar with accent or ghost, this is a piece where we get Adam's view on many aspects of the drumming industry, and at the end, we'll get an approval, an accent, or a disapproval, a ghost. I just got a picture. Just pull it up on the accent or ghost, see what you think.
Okay. Ooh, I feel like I've seen this. Parts of a drum kit. Okay, so for those just listening, it's a cartoon of a guy at a drum set, pretty large setup, and there's all of these arrows pointing to various parts of the kit, and they have like vocalizations, like so like Tom 1 is labeled as buh, and Tom 2 is duh. The hi-hats or the crash is psh. The hi-hats are ks. The octopad just says the band. I guess it could be. The brushes, we got hell nah. The sticks, hell yeah. The snare is ka. The bass drum is puh. Floor tom is boom. Cowbell is doink. The chimes, it just says no, please don't. Funny, man. First of all, this is just really funny. And it's a cool drawing too. I like this character, whatever's going on with his nose situation. Yeah, really funny. But there's like a deeper level to this, I think, which is a shout out to the illustrator of this, Tommy Siegel, looks like his name is. And it's like vocalization, and I think this is a really, really important thing that a lot of people don't do. I had one drum teacher growing up. I always say that I'm self-taught, and I was, except for this window of like 2 or 3 months where I had a drum teacher named Howard Caddison was his name, in Rockville, Maryland. And he used to make me sing everything before we played it, and I used to think that was so annoying, so stupid. So if it was a basic rock beat, I would have to boom, gat, boom, gat. I would have to sing it on the page before we could actually play it. But in hindsight, it was so helpful to think about drums that way that I started doing that with my students many years ago, where I will actually make them sing out certain parts. And in certain cases with certain students, we do have to sing it before we play it. And that gave birth to all of these like rhythmic vocalization games where we would just clap or snap our hands, and then we would sing on top of that, right? So doing different subdivision exercises, listening exercises, because your voice is so tied into your mind. I mean, where do words come from, right? Like they're indicative of your thoughts. And so something about like an inability to vocalize what you're hearing in your head, that's indicative of this problem that you have a problem with playing it as well. Like I think very few people can play things that they can't sing. And if you can sing it, then playing it is actually not that far off. You're pretty close to doing that. So an example would be like for me, I do this in the car all the time, more so than I like steering wheel drum or drum on my lap. I will sing or vocalize like rhythm, but it just comes out of my voice instead of the instrument as a voice. So example, like 10-second drum cell, it would be like right? Like to me, all of that could be played on a drum set. I'm singing how I hear my floor tom, my crashes, my hi-hats, different mannerisms. And sometimes you use onomatopoeia like bluzda, like that's a really easy bluzda, 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 bluzda. Another easy one like boots and cats, boots, cats, boots, cats, boots, right? Like there's so many of those built in, but I think it's like not talked about enough that's like an exercise or a way to perceive rhythmic expression where you can practice like with your own voice, like totally off of the kit. I don't know. I think people that can't do that at all, it's tied in somehow to like how you think about drums. Man, I would need more time to work that one out. I'm working on All In Without on my other podcast, non-drumming. I'm working on a philosophical podcast there that's about precision of language and being ultra precise with speech and trying to pitch an argument for why that's so extremely important. So this would tie into that, but we're early in that whole thought process. So yeah, I'm going to need a little more time to work that one out. But I like this. It's cool. It's cool. Really funny.
Deep cut. And yeah, it's funny that a funny little comic strip inspired that level of conversation.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Orlando Drummer Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more lessons like this one, masterclasses, interviews, lesson packs, individual chops and grooves, everything you can imagine. I have all of that waiting for you on orlandodrummer.com. It is an online drum school in the style of Netflix. Free 7-day trial at the link in the description. Check it out.